And hello, Jen.
And
We're back
hello,
again.
Wendy.
This looks synced with our colours as well. That wasn't planned, was it?
So
And
last time, no, it wasn't. Nothing's planned. So just a reminder, it's unrehearsed, natural, and in the moment. And Angelo wants to get it. But the only thing we have got is a topic, and the topic is Seren. That's the cat.
yeah, I'm going to talk and just let us know, Jen, what are you going to be talking about
So
your cat?
I'm going to talk about my cat. I'm going to be talking about Seren in particular, but Seren is sort of split into two. He has a brother called Dippity.
And just explain for the audience why this is really interesting, something you don't really hear people talking about very often.
Seren is a reincarnated cat. So he was my cat who was called Mr. Pooh in his previous life, and he died only weeks before he came back again. A couple of months, 2.5 months. Can't remember offhand the date he died, but he was reborn November the 3rd, about 3 years ago now.
And can I ask you then, how did you know? How do you know?
Okay.
Noted.
Where do I start? I've got so many indicators that this is Mr. Pooh.
Okay. A great name, by the way, Mr. Pooh. Don't know where that name came from for a
Well,
cat.
he was called Pooh Cat.
Pooh cat.
Pooh Cat from Winnie the Pooh. And people used to go, Pooh, why do you want to call him Pooh?
Mm.
It's because he's from Winnie the Pooh.
Right. I didn't think of Winnie the Pooh when you said Pooh cat.
Yes, it's Pooh. And so he was called Mr. Pooh to give him a bit more status rather than
Absolutely,
Pooh.
yeah.
So he's called Mr. Pooh. So Mr. Pooh came along actually with a brother. So we're going back a decade or two. Yeah, must have been a couple of decades. Oh, I don't know. My time goes really a bit weird, but I was living in England, and for whatever reason, we decided on getting a cat. So, and I can't remember how we came. Oh, yes, I think we happened to be in Bewdley, which is a beautiful village on the Severn, and there was a notice on the pet shop. I was thinking about having a cat, and there was a notice saying farm cats or some cats needing homes. There, I think they were already a couple of years old, one or two. Anyway, we went off to see them, and there was two of them, and we just had to have both of them because they've been together for a couple of years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they were called Pigger. They were called Pooh and Tigger. Now, they were given these names before, so we kept, and it was from Winnie the Pooh and Tigger from Winnie the Pooh. So Tigger was a completely different character to Winnie the Pooh or the Pooh. So the Pooh cat was beautiful and cuddly, long haired, and very much a home cat, and fur around you, and come here, come. So yeah, we're talking about before you were born. We had two cats. So my son, that's it. My son wanted Tigger and I wanted Pooh. So we ended up having them two brothers. and they came to live with us. So Pooh was always my cat, and Tigger was my son's cat.
What was Tigger like then, in
Tigger was
contrast?
adventurous, and he was, although he was very self-assured and confident, he would allow Pooh to knock him out the way, and he allowed him to have like first go at the food, and he'd wait till he'd finish and then he'd get it. But he died on the roads, Tigger did, because he was a very adventurous cat, and fortunately a neighbour saw his body on the ring road, and we picked up his body and we had a state ceremonial up the road, and he was laid out and buried, and then we were just left with Pooh, who needed another mate. So so we got another cat to be with him, which my son called Saber, and he was completely black, one of these beautiful black Egyptian looking status cats. So there was these two. Okay, they came back to live with us in Scotland and had a wonderful life with Mr. Pooh, but eventually he wasn't doing so well, and I knew he was ill, and I'd taken him to the vets. I can't remember now what was going on, but we knew he was dying.
Yeah.
I had to go off to on an EMDR weekend thing.
My goodness.
So I had a chat with him in the garden, and I said, if you need to go while I'm away,
So,
okay, you can go.
so important that, isn't it? Giving our loved ones permission to leave when they're ready. Because sometimes they hold on, don't they?
Yeah. And sometimes I want to go when you're not around.
Yeah, that's quite common, isn't it?
Yes, in people. Anyway, he did actually die while I was away. My son was here, and he said that he was stroking him on the grass, just as I did when I left him on the lawn. I stroked him. He wasn't interested in his food and wherever. I said, well,
Yeah.
I'll see you in 2 or 3 days, but if you need to go, that's okay. Anyway, my son was so upset because he felt he'd lost him. I've lost Pooh. He's gone. He's not in the garden. I don't know where he is. And I felt he'd gone somewhere to die. Anyway, I came back the next day, and my son had been in everyone's back garden, knocked on doors, and didn't know where the body was. But when I went to my bedroom, there he was, curled up by my radiator. I said he was in my bedroom, and there was his body all curled up by the radiator. And so he died with me in my room.
Yeah.
Now, after he died, Angela's making some funny noises. Is the cat at the door? After he died, I had a series of dreams. There was 4 dreams. And I saw this cat that I felt was the energy of Pooh.
Yeah.
Looked very similar to him, but he had more white on him, because Mr. Pooh was a ginger cat, fluffy ginger, a bit of white on him. And this cat was a young cat, and it was mainly all white with a little bit of ginger.
Oh.
And I saw this face looking at me. Oh, that's funny. That was the energy of Pooh. And then went about my day. A few days
You
later.
just kind of felt, it's that knowing, isn't it? We've all got these
Yes.
abilities, haven't we? And one of them is you just know. You can't
Yes.
really explain it, but you just know.
Yeah. It's you notice the energy of the person.
Yeah.
And it was Pooh. And then I had another dream where he was like looking at me in my face, and I just woke up, and then he twirled like that, and his tail stuck up and it went out the door. And again, it was mostly white. That's my dog. Mostly white, but there was some
Like a bit of ginger on it. Yeah, like a telltale sign, really, isn't it?
yes.
That little bit of ginger. Yeah, like
It's
a
like I've come back from even more angelic now.
yeah.
I'm coming back because this he'd only, he'd only been he'd only passed on a week, and then 2 weeks later, and then but was he coming back straight away? And I had a look at gestation times. I think it's 2 months in a cat. Anyway, he must have come immediately back. I
Mm.
was given a date, 3rd of November. I woke up with this in my head.
Right.
This date, 3rd of November. So I knew what it was about. My cat's come back, and it's so I went on all the sites looking for newborn litters, and then I would go in and look at them. I thought, no, that doesn't look like him. No, that doesn't look like. And then, strangely enough, I was on another EMDR weekend.
Oh, this is weird, isn't it?
Yes.
Weird.
And it was on Gumtree, which I hadn't been on before. I'd been looking in cat places and adverts and that. And this was on Gumtree, and someone had put out, they'd got their cat was had kittens. Would anyone like one of these kittens? There was a tabby one, and there was a ginger and white one. And immediately I thought, that's my cat, the ginger and white one. And I quickly sent her a message because I had to go back to the training and say, yeah, I want that cat. That's my cat. And she must have thought I was completely neurotic and mad. Save me that cat, whatever it takes. This is my cat. I'm just going to check who's at the door. 1 second. I think it might be Seren. Hello? No, he's not coming in yet. Come back. He's not coming in yet. A little tail just went out. So, how are we doing for time? Because I know we don't like going over.
We're doing fine, Jen.
Okay.
Got a couple of minutes.
Anyway, this was my cat. I went to visit the cat, and it did the same thing.
I was going to ask you that about the temperament.
Came
Did
all
you?
round my neck and purred up here under my hair.
Oh.
Felt really familiar with me, and it was exactly what Mr. Pooh used to do.
And were there other things? You might not be able to remember them right now because I know I'm putting you on the spot, but were there like other things then you just thought, like, this is like Mr. Pooh?
Everything is about Mr. Pooh.
Wow.
From his health conditions,
Really?
yes, he has like, as he has
Mm.
allergy and little spots. He seems to be allergic to fleas and things like that. His temperament, exactly the same. The only thing that's different is slightly different colouring in his fur. So I was going to call him Serendipity, and then when I went for this cat, the owner was saying, "Oh, it's a very young. The mother's very young. I wasn't expecting to have kittens so early." And she just produced these two, and they go everywhere together. So I had them both, and one's called Seren, who's the initial one, and he's come back with his mate or part of his soul family called Dippity, and he's the tabby one. But yeah, Seren's got exactly the same behaviors to everything he does is exactly the same. Even like he's slightly neurotic, and he'll jump on you with his claws out. and then you tell him off, and he jumps off and has a little thing. Exactly the same. I know it's the same cat.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm really taken back that you got a date.
Yes.
Wow.
And it was
Because
the
that's
day.
so clear to you, isn't it, that date?
Yeah, that's true.
It
Yeah.
wasn't kind of like vague or woolly. And that's just because you asked questions, wasn't it? Whether you were just being relaxed. and you're just asking those questions in your mind.
Well, I wasn't aware I was asking for a date.
Oh, oh, okay.
Yeah, I just woke up with 3rd of November, and maybe my subconscious was asking. And
Wow.
yeah.
What really fascinating.
So it's wonderful, isn't it, to know, because it's obviously reincarnation to
That
me.
it can happen. It doesn't always happen though. Just don't always come back to
I
their
have no idea what.
owner.
No, and they could come back. Maybe they could come to. Sometimes I think my dog might be a reincarnation of a
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a
dog,
different animal.
but he's come back as completely different and a different character, and he's grown, he's developed, maybe because there's some that is very, very, very familiar feeling, you know.
Wow.
But
I
there
don't
was
think,
17 years between those dogs, so I don't know where he'd been in between.
yeah. And, people aren't going to hear these type of conversations, are they? Normally, because they're not like mainstream type conversations, are they? But aren't they fascinating to learn about this stuff and to wonder about it and be curious about it? And I think, wow,
Yeah.
maybe somebody else has had similar kind of instincts, but just kind of dismissed them and thought, no, that can't be. That can't be my dog. That can't be my cat. Who knows? Which I think is quite good to hear other people
But
say this
I
happened.
do know this. I would put my life on this.
Yeah,
I
exactly. It's
I
nice, isn't
know
it, for
this
people to
is
hear
my
this?
cat reincarnated, yes.
Yeah, because
And
it's not not
it's
fiction.
not something I was expecting or wanting or asked. It just
Yeah,
happened.
yeah,
Amazing. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
And here you are today,
Yeah.
sharing it.
Yeah. So I
How
feel very blessed with my reincarnated cat and my very special unicorn style dog.
well, it's lovely finding out about that today. A really enlightening conversation. Just yeah, mind blowing. The possibilities.
It's a happy story, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's nice to know that there's all these sort of things that can happen after we pass on. Maybe we might
yeah,
pass on to different dimensions, or we might come back at some point, or we might come immediately back like my cat did.
yeah. Anything's possible,
Anything's possible.
really, isn't it?
Everything
Yeah,
unique and different, and
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I look forward to the next conversation then, Jen, whatever that may be.
Thanks, Wendy.
Pleasure. See you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
Toodaloo.
Bye.